Okay, so a pretty crazy conspiracy has been spreading online over the last few days, and honestly, it is pretty confusing, and at the same time, it is pretty scary too, because, I mean, if this ended up being true, if this was real, I can't even imagine how far this would end up going. Like, the rabbit hole is just so deep, I can't imagine how the authorities would react to something like this, and at the end of the day, man, this would probably be one of the craziest things that we've ever seen. So I'm not sure if you guys know what Wayfair is. Basically, it's like an online marketplace, almost like an Amazon or something like that, where you can buy a lot of different types of furniture and things like that. And, you know, it serves its purpose well, I guess. I mean, personally, I don't think I've ever shopped on Wayfair, but I mean, it's pretty well known and everything like that. It's a, I guess, universally respected furniture warehouse online or something like that. And, but there's kind of this conspiracy going around. And honestly, when you look at it at face value, it's very creepy. And the potential that this is actually real and this can be a serious thing is, it just, I don't know, it's mind-boggling almost, because you would never expect something like this to even be something that you see. Like, this just seems to be, you know, something that maybe you would hear on, like, the internet as just some crazy thing, and at the end of the day, that might end up being what this all really comes down to. But, I mean, the evidence almost is very weird, right? It's very unique, I should say. So basically, over the last few days, there's been, like, TikToks posted, there's been a lot of people tweeting about it and everything, and essentially the entire conspiracy is that somehow through Wayfair, people are trafficking other human beings with, like, very high prices and things like that, and we're going to go ahead and go into this. But before we do so, I do want to remind you guys that over 50% of you have yet to subscribe to the channel. I'm constantly posting new videos, up to 4 a day at this point, and, you know, there's plenty of entertainment for you, so go ahead and hit the sub button down below. Make sure to leave a like, and tell me what you think about all this down below, because the evidence is kind of damning. So basically, Wayfair, like I said, is this furniture thing online where you could just buy a bunch of different stuff, you know, couches, you can buy TV stands, you can buy chairs, tables, all kinds of different things on there. But what has a lot of people kind of confused and honestly worried is these cabinets, okay? So, basically over on Wayfair, there's these extremely overpriced cabinets for sale, and it doesn't even really make sense why they would be priced this high, because, I mean, cabinets hardly ever go for this price. I mean, unless you're like Elon Musk building a new mansion and you're putting some crazy ones in or something like that, right? This is just like a genuine, you know, average cabinet. So it doesn't really make sense that it's like as high priced as it is, but we're talking about these utility cabinets that, you know, they go up to like $15,000 almost. Some of them cost like 12 grand, some of them are up to like 14,000. In between there's some, but the weirdest part about all this is the fact that all the cabinets are named after girls. So there's different cabinets like Naraya, Yaritza, Samaya, Alvia, and these are all girl names, okay? And once again, these are just run-of-the-mill cabinets going for, like, stupid prices that don't even really make sense. So a lot of people at this point are starting to conspiracize, basically, that somehow, through Wayfair, people are trafficking girls in these cabinets. And people are, you know, I guess they go through here and they see the name or whatever, and they're like, oh, I want to buy this one. And whenever they get this thing delivered, I guess maybe there'll be a girl or something inside of it. And that's just what people are buying these for. And it's not, you know, just to get some nice little storage cabinet. It's in reality just human trafficking going on. But there is a lot of holes in this one, honestly, this story, because, I mean, you would think, right, that if these were being shipped, right, and girls were in it, like, they would just knock on it or whatever and maybe, you know, get someone's attention. I mean, these do appear to be metal, so they would make a good amount of noise if you, like, banged on them. So I don't know if that would really be possible to traffic people through that. And plus, I would assume at some point, like, they would slip up and get caught anyway, because, like, I feel like it's actually really hard to traffic human beings in storage cabinets. Now, a lot of people are saying it's Wayfair that's doing this and that they should be held accountable for this, but in reality, I'm pretty sure Wayfair is kind of like Amazon and Walmart and stuff like that, where, like, independent vendors can sign up through the website and sell their product on there. Now, I'm not 100% sure about that. It might just be all Wayfair's products, but I mean, with everything that they sell, it seems pretty unlikely that this company is making all this, and it really just comes down to independent vendors. Now, if that is possible, and, you know, independent people are on here selling their products, it is 100% possible that you do end up seeing something crazy like this, even if I guess, like, it wouldn't make sense for it to go that far. I guess it could hypothetically be possible, because, I mean, obviously Wayfair, I don't think they would risk their entire company to do something this crazy, because obviously they have a really good thing going for them. They're one of the bigger online marketplaces for things like this, so it wouldn't necessarily make a whole lot of sense for them to just be like, oh, hey, guess what, let's just start trafficking human beings for $13,000, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm assuming they're not selling a lot of these cabinets. They're pretty overpriced, and I mean, I can't really think of anyone off the top of my head who's like, yo, bro, let's go drop 14 grand on a storage cabinet. So I'm assuming this would have to be some sort of independent vendor. I mean, at that point, it could just be some random Joe Schmo out here trafficking people, but once again, it just seems a little bit unlikely. Now, I do, of course, want to point out that this is not factual information. This is an internet conspiracy that was started on Reddit. It could totally be fake, and in reality, the likelihood that this is human trafficking is pretty low. But there's a lot of very coincidental information that just kind of seems to line up, and of course, it's not solid proof or anything, but I mean, it is definitely a little coincidental, and it's a little scary if you think about it, because, I mean, just imagine the fact that the potential is there for girls to be getting trafficked on the internet through storage cabinets on Wayfair, right? And nobody is really wiser to the solution and understanding that it's even happening. I mean, if that were to really be happening, that would be just terrifying to even think about in the first place. Because at that point, it would seem like anything would really be possible to do. And I mean, once again, I don't know if this is what's happening. I'm just telling you guys the conspiracy here. Now, Newsweek is the group, I guess, that reached out to Wayfair, and they of course asked them about it. Hey, are you guys allowing human trafficking to go on in your website through some storage cabinets? And Wayfair did decide to respond, and obviously it was about time that they did, considering the conspiracy was becoming viral. And they said that there's no truth to the claims. They said that these are industrial-grade cabinets that are accurately priced. And when it comes down to like the descriptions and stuff that the supplier produced, they know that it didn't really like explain the price point because it's a very insane price to be putting on these cabinets. And right now they have removed all of these products from their website to rename them and to give a more in-depth description and stuff like that that accurately depict them and clarifies the price point a little bit. Because we're talking about it's run-of-the-mill cabinets. I mean, they might be industrial grade or whatever, but I mean, they're run-of-the-mill cabinets going for a stupid price. And they're named after these girls and everything. Some people are even saying that if you search up these girls' names, that they're actually girls that have gone missing, so that kind of added to the whole conspiracy. I don't know if that's true or not, I can't really confirm it. Now, I do want to go ahead and add, I mean, just to kind of, I guess, play even here, I guess, the most appropriate response that Wayfair could have given is like, oh, of course no, there's no human trafficking going on here. These are accurately priced cabinets, I mean, when you look at it, they don't look accurately priced. That's the thing. We're talking about just what appear to be, once again, run-of-the-mill fucking cabinets. Like, this is something that your dad has out in the garage a lot of the time, right? It doesn't appear to be a $15,000 cabinet. Like, you're not going to catch me buying one of these cabinets. So, of course, that's what they're going to say, right? Because, I mean, even if they're not doing it, right? Even if this is just actually cabinets that they're trying to sell at this price, they're going to want to make sure that people don't think that it's part of some trafficking ring or something crazy like that. But, on the same hand, if this is something shady that people should be concerned about, of course they're going to be like, oh no, we would never do anything like that. That's crazy. Why would we ever do anything like that? Oh, please don't look into this any further. It's all normal, we're just selling cabinets here for what appears to be 8 times more than what they're worth. I mean, that is what they would do, right? Because either way, it's not a good look. It's not something that they want people thinking, and they have to try and protect their business because, once again, this is becoming a viral topic, and they don't want people just thinking crazy things about their business. So when it comes down to it, I expected this kind of response. Do I believe them? To a certain extent, you know what I'm saying? I don't believe 100% that this is a conspiracy and there's trafficking going on with this. Because as dark as this sounds, let's keep it a buck here. People who have been trafficking human beings have already found better ways than to put online listings as fucking cabinets and sending people through those. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, like, those have to be shipped through post offices and all kinds of crazy things. The odds that they get caught are way too high to be just doing something like that. I mean, just logically speaking. I mean, why would they even put themselves in that kind of danger? That wouldn't even make any sense. Because, I mean, sure, yeah, they're getting to traffic people, but at what cost? Yeah, like 8 different post offices seeing it, or someone possibly hearing them in there, or them inspecting the package or something like that. Next thing you know, guess what? They see some person in there. You would think it would just be too risky. I mean, like, if you've ever seen these movies or anything where there's trafficking, they go to Paris or whatever, and they drop them off in someone's car kind of thing. I feel like they've already got this one kind of locked down because there is kind of like a big trafficking issue here in the US. A lot of kids and girls are going missing, and honestly, a lot of it has to do with child trafficking and whatnot, so it's not like this is a problem that just started. This is something that's happened for God knows how long, and like I said, they probably have it down to a science at this point where they're defying local law, and they're getting away with it. And I just feel like they probably, logically, wouldn't step too far out of that comfort zone of just being pieces of human garbage. So, I mean, as unlikely as it is, I mean, the evidence definitely is very coincidental, and it is definitely very unnerving to think about the potential of that, because, I mean, they could hypothetically get away with doing that, but I just think that the likelihood that that is what's going on here, and they're not just, overselling the price point of some stupid cabinet on the internet, I just find that unlikely. But I mean, of course, this is very shady, and it should realistically be looked into just in case. Because, I mean, you don't want this to be something that flies under the radar by accident, right? Where, Wayfair just comes in and says, oh yeah, we would never do that. Next thing you know, everything's fine because everyone believes them. It should be looked into just in case, especially if an independent vendor can get away with getting on the website or whatever. People should definitely, pay a little bit of attention to it and see what's going on. I mean, do I think that they're going to find anything in this whole thing? Do I think it's going to be something where, they buy a cabinet and 3 weeks later it gets there and some 9-year-old pops out? Probably not. It probably is just a big coincidence that we're all looking too deeply into, but I mean, it's shady. So I feel like maybe it should be looked into by some law enforcement or something like that, just to see. You know what I'm saying? Just to see. But at the end of the day, I'm just here to tell you guys what's going on. It's a pretty big conspiracy right now, and it'll probably end up getting bigger. I mean, there's a lot of crazy conspiracy theories out there. It's not like this would be a rarity or anything crazy like that. This would just be almost like another run-of-the-mill conspiracy theory when it comes down to it at the end of the day. So, I mean, we'll see what happens with it. I mean, it might just end up flying under the radar and nobody looks into it anymore, and we never fully know the truth or whatever it comes down to there. But I mean, maybe somebody does look into it and the results vary, right? Like maybe somebody looks into it and, nothing crazy's going on and it really is just overpriced cabinets, or maybe someone buys one and, some kid pops out of it. I don't know. All I know is that it is a conspiracy theory going around right now, and I just wanted to take a look into it for a video here and talk to you guys about it. So, with all that being said though, thank you guys for watching the video. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel, follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at SubToOptimus, make sure to check out Shop Opti down below. Thank you to my channel members, your support helps my channel tremendously. And until my next video guys, this is Optimus, well, I guess, looking into the Wayfair conspiracy theory and, signing out.